Hello, everybody. Happy Friday afternoon. I don't always get to say that. This show is called Beard Topics Live. We had a little break at the end of November and into December just because of schedule and life, whether it was 12 days of Beardsmas or Grovember. But this is a podcast where I take your topics, your questions, and for almost exactly 1 hour, pardon me, we go over those topics and those questions. One of my favorite aspects about this stream in particular is that you can listen to it podcast style and replay and not really miss much of the moment or like the energy and the excitement. This is an informational live stream / podcast. And we have a sponsor today, the Bearded Mack, to make this all possible. I'll get into all that, you guys, but I do want to say thank you. If you're in the chat and you have questions, the second half of this stream is going to be dedicated to your questions. So please keep that in mind. It really is something that I love and I'm proud of, where we get this platform for you guys to be able to ask whatever you would like. Lonnie, you are correct if that is your real name, but you are live. So welcome, everybody. Quick shout out to the early squad out there. We have the Beaten Brush, Top Hat, John. Who else we got in here? Mark, Banana Goat, Saya, Vado, Mike, Corey, John, Wyatt, Justin, Mike, Austin, Adam. Welcome, you guys. And so, Justin, I have starred your question, and we will hit that one at the halftime segment. And again, guys, we're going to get right into this show here. I'm going to type a little thing for the bottom. Thank you to the Bearded Mack for sponsoring. Okay. Here we go, guys. So we're going to get into this. How this works is I will have a set topic, 3 different ones ahead of time, and we will get into those ones. And then above that, we will have a feature, right? Talk about the Bearded Mack, and then it will open it up to questions and topics from you guys. So you guys can drop those at any time, and I'll do my best to star them, or you can just save it until we get to about that halfway portion, and the rest of the show is all about your guys' questions and topics. So thank you guys for coming in. I do like to do this on this stream because another goal of this stream is to hit different time zones and work schedules and life schedules for people that can't normally make the lives, where we're at 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays and Mondays every single week for 5.5 years now. So if you don't mind in the chat, you guys, just let us know where you're from. I'm just genuinely curious on this one because we usually get a pretty diverse group in here. We've got so many friends that are out there all the way from Europe. We got people like Sebastian. I see we have Canada in the house. We got the US in the house. So whatever you feel comfortable with sharing, let us know where you guys are from. I am super excited. And Caleb said, hey, definitely missed this stream. Yeah, it is back in full force. It just simply wasn't possible to continue this one at that part of November and December. So I'm excited to have it back. We're going to have our returning sponsors back again, and maybe a couple more added into the mix as well. So get those comments out there. Let's see where everybody is from, especially if you're outside of the U.S. I would love to see who we have checking in from all around the world. I already know we have about 4 or 5 different countries represented right now, which is really, really cool. Okay, and I don't even think I asked, guys, if you don't mind, as you come in, 2 things: hit that thumbs up, the like button on this stream. I know you hear that all the time, but it really is important, and it does make a big difference. And then the second thing is, if you guys want to share this out, that's super valuable as well. Maybe somebody wants to come in right now during their lunch break, or maybe they have the day off, or equally as important, maybe somebody wants to watch in the future on the live streams, because these videos grow. They go, and we have an amazing amount of people in the chat right now, but they continue to grow with the views because people come back and they watch them. And so I appreciate you guys, and I get to see some familiar faces that haven't been in here lately, just because, again, I know life and schedules and everything get crazy. So, man, good to see everybody, which is really, really cool. So that is amazing. And Caleb says, got a notification in my chat that slow chat mode is on. Is that on your end? No, Caleb, that's probably just a glitch. You're a member. It shouldn't do that. So sometimes YouTube, it's just a tech thing. You know, they mess up. Try refreshing. If it doesn't work, we'll try again another day. Unfortunately, I don't have any control over that. Even Facebook is going through some like updates right now and got some weird stuff going on. But hey, we'll make the most out of it, and we are here to break it down. I have that slow chat too. Yeah, it must just be a little glitch going on with YouTube. So I'm not sure why it's doing that to members. It shouldn't, but we will do it hasn't affected anything. Okay, yeah, it might just be a message. It might not actually be real. It might not be something that is truly showing up. Okay, I would like to go ahead and show you guys what we got set up today. And again, likes and shares are always, always, always appreciated. So thank you guys. And this is episode 32 of Beard Topics Live. And if you're new, let's say you joined in November, you joined in December, this channel, this platform, this community, and you're like, ooh, I really like this kind of live stream. Hey, we have 31 prior episodes for you to go back and binge watch, binge listen. I promise you guys, the rewatch, the replayability of these ones are really good. Yep, really, really good. So we're going to jump into this and see what we have going on today. The first thing is our sponsor today is the Bearded Mack. So shout out to the Bearded Mack. They are making this possible. It is just something that they really like to support the community. Of course, they want to get their name out there, but they want to do it in the right way, in a way that's supporting everybody. So couple of things. Obviously, if you guys want to make a purchase from them, that supports them. That supports this live stream, this platform. I do have an affiliate discount code. It is DNC for 15% off. I genuinely recommend everything that they sell. I've said it time and time again. There's so many companies I love, but I think from top to bottom, for my preference, this is totally subjective, they have the most complete scent profile list. There is not a scent that I dislike from the Bearded Mack, and that's really rare. I actually really enjoy having scents that I dislike and hate from companies because I feel like it gives me like street cred, right? It could be some of my favorite companies. I'm like, this one I don't like. This one's not good. I can't do that with the Bearded Mack because I do not have any scents that I dislike from them. So top to bottom, notable, top to bottom, they are amazing. Oh, Brandon, tell her good luck. And so if you guys don't mind, Dancy is your 15% off discount. But even if you don't want to make any purchase, which you never have to feel pressure to make a purchase, if you guys want to be able to support, there is a link in the chat for their Instagram. And this is something that is, good question, Mark. And I'll hit that, being somebody that works with every company owner as well. Very, very good one. And John would like to know, haven't had the chance to try them. Do they have any woodsy, earthy scents? If you guys have any woodsy, earthy scent recommendations for the Bearded Mack, which is linked in the chat, you guys, if you have any of those kinds of ones that come to mind, drop a comment and let's see what we can do for the scents there. I would say the Log Cabin Mac is probably your best bet. I mean, it does have the campfire smell to it, but I would say that one is probably your closest. Maybe Lights Out Mac, but that's more of a cologne to me. Yeah, I would probably say the Log Cabin Mac would be the closest to your preference. Maybe Lights Out Mac could do it for you as well. But good question, John. Yeah, very, very good question. And of course, if you guys have any kind of comments or feedback for this company, please feel free. Caleb says, my beard style is the best with Bearded Mack. Wow. And yeah, Dan is right. I want a sample pack from the Bearded Mack, and every scent is a banger. Hey, Zeus said, my wife bought me their sample pack for Christmas, and oh man, no scents are bad. It's really true. Like it's actually true. I went straight through Corner Mac and it was so good. Yep. Corner Mac's one of my favorites. And Cameron says, I think Roaring 20s Mac is in the general realm, maybe. Yeah, that one's a super unique barbershop. There's nothing that's quite like that. So yeah, Define says Chris does not play around. He brings the fire with every scent. Yeah, and as I said, guys, scents are subjective. There's profiles that many people love that I don't. I really like these. And these are even ones where it's like Log Cabin Mac, where I'm like, normally I wouldn't like that, but they did it in a way that it suits me pretty well. Yep, suits me pretty well. And so I love that. Otto says, I love the Bearded Mac. I rub it on my face sometimes. No, I use oil on my face every night. Every single night I use oil. That's my moisturizer. G Squared said, Dan, we got home late night. Finally home. Good. 3 weeks in the hospital plus. Super happy to say surprise Christmas gift to the Bearded Mac oil salvo. Oh, man, that's awesome. I am genuinely happy for you. Yep, so happy for you. That is awesome. And guys, you have some great questions. Keep the questions coming. We will hit those at the halftime segment, so feel free to make sure you guys are putting those questions out there. We are limited to an hour on this show, but we will do our best of our ability to hit all of the questions that you guys have. All right, so that is one slide there from the Bearded Mack. And again, guys, I will put their Instagram in the chat. If you guys want to go give their Instagram a follow, that is a free, quick, and easy way to show love and support for this company. So obviously, we talk a lot about their beard products. My most used products from the Bearded Mack would be both in the Icy Mac scent. And that would be, hey, Brian, that would be their beard oil and their solid beard wash bar. Both of those are in my rotation, will forever be in my rotation, and are amazing beard products. Now, they have some stuff that's outside of the norm, right? Outside of the norm. No, John, we started at 215, so it'll be done at 315. And the things that they have that often don't get talked about and are, again, just a little bit different would be they have spray colognes. If you guys are looking to up your fragrance game, your smell game, they have fragrances in the spray variety. And they have a really, really cool groomsman kit, which has 3 exclusive beard oils that are all 3 different cologne scents, and it's for like the rehearsal dinner, the bachelor party, and for the reception. And it comes with a Chicago comb, and the box gets custom engraved. It's awesome. I have it myself, and it was long after my wedding. And I have it just because I enjoy them. It's a really cool kit to have. So don't sleep on the other products that this company has, you guys. It is really awesome. Yep, really, really, really awesome. And yeah, Shane says their solid wash bar is amazing. I love it. Yep. Judd the Stud says Log Cabin Mac is a banger. Get it while you can. Yep, absolutely. Revered and Icy Mac are bangers. Yes, they are. Yep, absolutely. And Jonathan says, I didn't realize this was a thing today. It's not. So it is. This stream, you guys, is random days at random times. The goal is to reach different schedules, different time zones, different days where I'm able to go live. You guys are able to hang out and watch, or you can watch it on replay, which is just as valuable. Jesus says, solid wash bar, daily gentle. Yes, 100% daily gentle, and it's amazing. Otto says, I love the solid wash bar too. Exceptionally good for travel, not just daily use. And that is a key point there. When you want to travel with that thing, it's smaller. There's no leaking. There's no liquid requirement for TSA. There's so many advantages of having that thing to be able to go through, man. It's truly awesome. Muhammad, I started your question from earlier. We will get the halftime segment where we have the questions. And Jeremy says, love the Icy Mac, Command Mac, and the Sleepwalker. All are in rotation as well. And do not sleep on the Corner Mac, you guys. If you enjoy an aquatic cologne, the Corner Mac is where it's at. Yep, it really, really, really is. Yeah, no doubt about it. So yeah, I love it. And they're a busy company with their own scents, working in the whiskey and hardtack scents, and now taking on, they're definitely taking a huge focus and priority on their scent profiles. And I've never heard anybody complain about that, right? That benefits us all. And so I love. And Mike says, they have a good affordable sample pack. Big fan of sample packs. Facts. Sample packs have always 100% of the time surprised me. And in regards to thinking I would not enjoy a scent and then getting it in beard and being like, okay, I guess I did not realize on paper what this was going to turn out to be. And it always has something in there. And the Bearded Mack is no exception to that. So yeah, guys, if you want to try their sample pack, the affiliate discount code DANC is worth 15% off that all the time. And Mike says, same. I think it's just human nature. We get stuck in our ways. We get to think like, oh, I like mint. I like citrus. I like aquatic cologne. Boom, 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 boom. And we always get those things. And then you step outside of your comfort zone. You're like, oh my, I don't know what happened, but I'm enjoying this. I don't know why, but I really like this one. And so there's a lot to that. Mike G says, I like the Ravager Mac. That's a classic, absolutely classic, man. It is so good. Yep. Really, really good. So yes, I love. All right, wait till Chris brings out hey, I'm excited, Vado. They got a lot of stuff coming. So if you want to learn more about the Bearded Mack, check out their website, check out their Instagram, a company that I recommend through and through. I've worked with them for years and years now, family owned, family operated. Chris is the guy behind the scenes, moving the knobs and levers. And then you have Eileen back there making the solid beard wash bars, packaging orders, working with scents. It's truly a family company in all the best ways possible. Awesome, you guys. All right. And again, thank you to the Bearded Mack for sponsoring today's episode. And let's go ahead and get into our very first topic. These ones today are pulled from Reddit. So I will pull the topics from my Instagram, from Reddit, and sometimes YouTube, but mainly the first topics are outside of YouTube. So the first one said, and this is easily, you guys, my most asked beard question in the history of my beard. Right? The number one, if you guys agree with me on this for yourself, is this your most asked question? How long did it take you to grow that? How long does it take to grow that length? That's my number one. If you guys have another one, and I'm not looking for sarcasm here, real questions. If you have something that you get asked more than that, drop a comment and let me hear it. But for me, the number one question about my beard: how long did it take to grow? Always. And I'm sure it's because I have some significant length to it, and people are curious, but it's always that question. So to answer it straight up, I'm going to give you two different answers. The first one is the most accurate, and then the second one is an estimate. I have had this length for who knows how long. How long did it take? We don't know, because it continues to grow and I continue to trim. I've never grown and just simply went to a certain length without trimming along the way. I've never done a yeared. I never will do a yeared. I never want to do a yeared. I like to look dialed in every step along the way. And I do not, as you guys know by now, I do not have any commitment issues. So I have no problem sticking with a plan and staying true to what I want to do with my beard. So the second part of the question, if I were to buzz this all off and start over, how long do I think it would take me to get to this point again? About 2 years at most. I have a really fast growing beard. It's probably more like less than 18 months for myself, but I like to give more general answers so people can have a realistic expectation. Most people, if they want to get to my beard length, is going to be about 2 years worth of growth. Yep. Have to look back at the catalog to see when it got to this length. Yeah, and again, the really only way that you're able to know how long it takes is if you grow without trimming and then kind of analyze it that way. Yeah. And so Jesus says 18 months. Yeah. So my beard right now is probably 12 to 14 inches. So on average, most people are growing about a half inch of beard a month, right? This is what we do on this show, guys. We get into numbers and nerd out and geek out on beard details. Most people grow about a half inch of beard a month. I grow around an inch or a little bit more, especially during the summer months, especially when I'm hitting the gym and dialed in on my supplements and my vitamins and all that kind of stuff. I grow usually more than an inch. So if I'm going to be like super duper honest and you were to say, hey, Dan, could you grow a 12-inch beard in 1 year? Could you be that freak of nature? I could. If I focused on that and that was my goal and my intention, I absolutely could, especially with me going to the gym, right? Increasing my testosterone, which is huge, especially with me focusing on my protein intake, which I believe is extremely important for your internal health, which is going to help your beard. Focusing on my hydration. I always do that. Cheers, by the way. And then from there, doing my biotin, doing my collagen, doing my supplements and my men's multivitamins and all that kind of stuff. Mine would 100% be able to grow a 12-inch beard in probably a year. But for most people, it's going to be about 2 years. Yep, about 2 years to get to this point. So that's a quick one to start with, but I wanted to put this one up here because I get that question all the time. And it really keeps going. And Mark says, I'm excited to keep track of my beard length each month this year. Sometimes it's tough to notice even an inch. It is. The longer your beard gets, the less likely you are to notice the change. It's called the law of proportionality, right? The bigger something is, the change is less drastic. And so you notice it less and less and less. So yes. And Lillian says, I know you said you would not do that, but do you consider changing your mind and braiding it once for a fun video? Once it's long enough, I fully plan on doing that. I actually have braided it recently twice. It's not quite long enough to look good yet. Once it's able to look good, then I will do that. Fun videos, fun is relative, right? If I don't think it's fun, then it's not a fun video. And I don't like when my beard looks bad. And for me right now, at this length and density, I don't like the way it looks braided. And so for me, yeah, that's a big difference. Dan, your current beard, though, is some of all the transparency trims, care routines, and health. So while length, I agree you could do it in 2 years. I would say your current beard is all your years. Yeah, I mean, that's a loaded topic. I see what you're saying, G squared. It's a loaded topic. I would say I disagree with that, because of a couple of variables, but I hear what you're saying, but it doesn't answer this question or the question people want to know when they're asking me. So yeah, how long does it take to get to this length? They're essentially wondering, if you were to grow, how long does it take to get there? Because I could, and the main pushback with that G squared is I could have this exact beard 2 years ago, right? I did at different points, and so it's all, there's a lot of variables there, a lot of variables on that one. Tanner, absolutely, man. I'm going to start that question for you. Okay, let's keep this one going here. All right, and again, I have to remember that we started at 2:15. I'm usually starting on the hour, so I'm like watching the time, but we have plenty of time here. Start at 2:15. Okay, here's the next one. This is another big one. And again, guys, today's topics and questions that are loaded, we always start with 3 of them, come from Reddit, which are different usually topics and questions than YouTube. Reddit's this weird wild west of the internet. It's kind of like the back page of the internet. And there's a lot of good questions that people just don't ask as commonly on YouTube. And here's one of them. Maybe like 2% of hot women like beards that long. It looks like a hair curtain. Keep it trim. Okay. We're not going to acknowledge that keep it trim grammar. We're not going to acknowledge that their name is literally official fart master. I'm going to say this in a serious way and not laugh, but we are going to acknowledge official fart master's comment on my Reddit that was looking for questions. And so again, let me read this and then I'll read my response and then we will talk about this one here. And that is the topic on this one. Maybe like 2% of hot women like beards that long. It looks like a hair curtain trim. And I said down below, luckily, I have found all 2% of them. There we go. So what I want to frame this on as a topic, because again, this is Beard Topics Live. It's not Beard Questions Live, even though it kind of goes into questions here. And that would be, are women attracted to beards? And then to take it a step further, are women attracted to long beards? Now, my wife and I do have a podcast called Catching Up with the Commands. It's on all podcast platforms. I'll actually share it in the chat right now. You guys can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Amazon, anywhere there's podcasts, you can listen to it. And even if you don't have a podcast platform, there's a link in the chat. Last week, not today's episode, but last week's episode, you guys, I had a podcast about like hateful comments and I addressed them. And one of them was about like sexual comments, right? People that are sliding into the DMs. Now, if I had to release the messages that I have from real women, I'm not talking about the bots. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. If I had to release the messages that I get on a and you guys, I show everyone to my wife, this isn't like made up. This isn't me like puffing my chest out or anything. I don't care about other women. There's nothing in it for that. Just to answer this question. If I were to release the messages of very attractive women sending me very, very interesting requests or very aggressive messages to show that they are attracted to this bigger beard and this guy, there's a lot of very, very attractive women that like big beards, that like having a beard that is well groomed. And Mark says here, it is very easy to have a beard that looks unkempt and disheveled. That is what many people aren't attracted to. Exactly. The way you keep your beard says so much about you. If it is unkept, if it is disheveled, if it doesn't look right, if it doesn't smell good, they're going to assume things about you. But when a woman naturally sees a beard that is big, that is well maintained, that smells good, that looks good, there's a lot of things going on psychologically there. Number one, they have commitment. They can stay with something and see it through. Got it. Number two, they care about their hygiene. If their beard is clean and looks good and smells good, other areas of their body likely look good and smell good. That's a huge message that is sent. And do not underestimate the ability to project confidence. If you have a big beard like mine, you are okay with attention. You are okay with walking into a room and everybody thinking about you. It's just how it works, right? There's other natural features where, whether let's say it's a woman that walks into a room that's going to garner attention, this is mine. And when a woman sees that, she knows, that guy's confident in himself. That guy's okay with going against what is normal, going against what is corporate or business or accepted. There's a lot of attraction that comes into that. And I can tell this person, and again, the person's name is Official Fart Master. I can tell this person without a shadow of a doubt, it's far more than 2% of attractive women that enjoy beards, that like beards, that think a big, long beard is attractive. Now, is it all of them? No, of course not. Everybody has different personal preferences, just like men do for women. Some men like short hair on women. Some men like long hair, blonde hair, right? Everyone has preferences. The same thing goes for beards. There's likely a large percentage of women that are highly attractive that don't like long beards. But that's okay. I'm not trying to appeal to any of them. That's fine. That's good. But there is a big number of women that do find that attractive. And again, you would be mortified if you saw some of the messages that I have. Me and Sam giggle on a daily night. I cannot talk about them here. I did talk about them on my podcast. There's a lot of requests to, I'm just going to leave it at that. Go check out the podcast. We kind of talk about all of those pictures and stuff. Yeah, we're going to leave it at that, guys. But to push back on this person, 100%, there are women that are attracted to the beard. And as Mike says right here, you got to do you. I found this out a lot earlier in life. I wish I would have found it out earlier in like high school or like early college. I did kind of find it out in college. When you are trying to look a certain way with the goal of attracting certain women, it never works. It never works. Ooh, I'm going to dress this way because I think that chick will like me. Ooh, I'm going to shave, or I'm going to rock a stubble beard, or I'm going to do my hair like this because I think that chick will like it. It doesn't work that way. When you change your outcome based on what you think is the reaction that you're going to receive, it never matches up. But when you give your own personal outcome, you know what? I'm going to rock this beard because I like it. It makes me confident. It makes me attractive. You'd be shocked at what starts to come your way. You'd be shocked at think about what attraction is. People are drawn to you, right? Let's just break it down like that. Super simple. Attraction is someone being drawn to you. When magnets are attracted to you together, right? That's what happens. How do you form real attraction? Be yourself. Be confident. Stop trying to draw in that attraction, and it just comes. I learned that probably in about college. I'll be honest, probably about midway through college, I learned that. All through high school, I distinctly remember, and I was a very confident person, but I distinctly remember making every single choice in my life based on what I thought girls wanted, based on what I thought girls were attracted to. I didn't take into account what I wanted or what I thought was attractive. I just did it based on what they thought. Once you make that shift, it changes everything. Absolutely everything. And yeah, let's say it is true. Got to go find yourself a 2% girl, right? There's no doubt about that. And Mark says, there's one woman I care about liking my beard, and she does. If any others don't like it, it doesn't affect me in the least. Facts. Otto says, I wonder what statistic of men talking about hot women likes on the internet have ever met a woman. Spot on. And when we account for it being Reddit, those numbers are even more inflated. And Brian says, my wife surprised me when I trimmed down to a solo mustache. I assumed her favorite would be a 4-inch beard, but she liked where you and Sam suggested I trim at the 8 to 10-inch beard. Isn't that amazing? Right? We are always going to be, hey, Robert, we're always going to be surprised when we assume what women like. That's a complicated thing to go through. Yep, complicated thing to go through. So don't do that. And Mike's right. Women love a man who can commit. Yep, no doubt. Vado said, sorry, that was me. I used a fake profile. It was not. It was not here. Kathy, speaking for the women, says, I just like a beard in general. It does look better when taken care of. There we go. Yep, there we go. I love it. Corey says a long, well-kept beard, I think, looks nicer than a short beard that is not kept. Fact. Absolutely facts right there. Purposeful. Yep, you got to be purposeful. Yep, no doubt. And G Squared says, Dan, there's something to be said that if your beard and hair are overly styled to the point of perfection, it can be styled wrong. Yeah, too much of any good thing is a bad thing, right? Water is amazing, and most of us will never flirt with having too much. However, there is a limit where too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Cheers. So absolutely so dang true there. Yep. So dang true. And Ken says, time to dig into the podcast for the less PG rated content. Yeah. And if you guys do, I'll put a link in the chat again for the podcast. If you guys do go over there, the podcast is not rated PG or PG-13. It is fully uncensored. Me and my wife are normal humans. You guys would like us if you hung out with us. On air, I take pride in this being family friendly, that your kids can be around. You don't have to worry about them walking by you. You can watch with your wife, the girlfriend, your grandparents. It doesn't matter. The podcast, that's a different story. Don't put your kids to bed when you listen to the podcast. there's a lot more to that. Yes. And G Squared said, my wife made a good comment I never thought of. She said she thinks I look good with all my beard length, but currently I make a statement, and I'm not a narcissistic guy, but I loved hearing that. Oh, it is a statement. When you walk in a room with a big, well-groomed beard, you make a statement. Yep, you really do. And Jags for Life says, shout out to Dancy Bearded. He does answer so many of his video comments. Kudos. No. Jags for Life. You need to change. Thank you. But you need to change that. I answer every video comment. So I got you on that one. If you comment on a normal video upload, I will respond to it. Yep, absolutely will respond to it. Okay. Hey, Rich, thank you, man. He said you're the coolest. I appreciate that. So I do want to put this one to bed, you guys. There are tons and tons and tons of very attractive women that like big beards, even the ones that look like a hair curtain. That one I can absolutely go through. Oh, Mark, I've thought about this many times. He says, Dan can never commit a crime. He'd be the easiest guy to identify. I know. 6'3", very muscular. No, just kidding. 6'3", normal build, huge beard. Okay, big ears, and was likely wearing Yeezys or something along those lines. That is a fact. I've thought about that. And that's actually that's actually a good point here, Mark. I believe when someone says, what is a beard and what is not a beard? I believe if you commit a crime, if they were to describe you as a guy with a beard or a bearded man, you have a beard. If they do not, you're working on it. You're training. You're getting there. And but that one is a big one for me. Yep, that is a big one for me. And chillin', Mr. Dan B says, my ex didn't like my beard and she always told me to cut it. And I said, no, I'm glad that is your ex, but I also can acknowledge some women don't like beards, and that's okay. That's great, right? Some women don't like tall men, right? Then they have Ken in Hawaii they can go hang out with. Some women don't like short men, then they come hang out with me. No, just kidding. All right, JP, he says, I'm working and can't stay, but I had to pop in and say, heck yeah, to the return of Beard Topics Live. We'll catch the replay. Thank you, my man. And again, guys, shout out to the Bearded Mack for sponsoring today. Absolutely love it. All right, let's go ahead on to our last set one here. And again, guys, this is all about the Reddit today. And so this one says, I'm new to this. Define transparency. Awesome. So, and then they took it a little bit farther and they said, is it similar to split ends? Is it similar to split ends? I'm the shortest 6-foot guy in the U.S. all dating sites, 6 foot. I love it. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. Okay. So define a transparency trim. I've actually been getting this question more and more lately. A transparency trim is, I'm going to put it in the simplest terms, and then I'll go a little bit deeper on this one. A transparency trim is when your beard has sections near the bottom that start to show more light getting through it than the rest of the beard. When you trim it, you trim that section off your beard. And hey, Jags for Life, thank you, man. He just did a super chat. Thank you, dude. He said, thank you for all the help and advice you give the community. You're amazing. Hey, man, thank you. That means a lot to me. I'm happy to be able to do that. And so, yes. And yeah, we got there's a lot of angles to this. So that is what a transparency trim is. Once your beard starts to look transparent, once your beard, you can't use the word in the definition, right? Got it. Once your beard shows more light coming through than the rest of your beard, I recommend trimming those portions unless you're doing a yeared or unless you like it, then you do your thing. Farther down the line, why does that happen? Essentially, for most people, the front of your beard, the beard that grows from your chin down, right? The like chin strap region is going to grow the longest and the fastest. The supporting actors, let me show you guys a little bit of silence here. The supporting actors normally are slower growing and oftentimes have a shorter terminal length, meaning they don't keep growing past that point. When that happens, the back of your beard, right? Your beard starts about this thickness. The back of your beard, as everything is growing, starts to get smaller, and that amount of light does not show through. I have a video that gives an analogy of a forest, right? If you're driving along the highway and you look to your side, if there's 100 rows of trees, you're not seeing much through that. That boy is thicker than a Snicker, right? Now let's cut those in half and you only have 50 trees. Ooh, there's more light. I can see through them now. If we chop that down more and there's only 10 trees, now it's really thin. Now it's really transparent. That happens with our beard as it grows down, So something to keep in mind there. Now, Mark brings up a good point. Ken dropped a one on here too. He says, advice, don't look for transparency when you're wearing white or colored shirts, or if there's a logo underneath it or different like designs underneath it or wording underneath it. Yes, lighting and background can make a big difference when it comes to the transparency of your beard. Most of you have probably seen that post I've had where I showed the transparency in my beard and it was a huge difference. It was taken in the same spot, literally within like less than a minute apart, because I just simply changed my shirt and took a picture, same spot, didn't change the lighting, didn't change anything else at all. And the transparency was really, really vast when you saw that difference. You got to know when it's real transparency. You got to know how you can angle to make yourself look the best way possible. I'm going to try and pull up that picture and show you guys in just a bit here. But it makes a big difference. If you notice me, I only wear darker, natural colored shirts underneath my beard. That's it. Darker, natural colored shirts underneath my beard, because that is what looks good with my background. So for me, it's almost always a dark heather gray shirt. Now, most of you will see stuff and you'll be like, huh? Dan, do you only have one shirt? No, I just have like 10 of the same exact shirt. I buy them from like the shirt manufacturer, not even like from like a store that normally people shop from. I go straight up to the supplier and I'm like, yeah, I'll take 10 of those gray ones. I keep them for like a season and then I rotate through. But I'll go with the blue like I have on today. I'll go with like a green, a dark green sometimes, but it's mainly in the black, gray, blue, green kind of scene, if that makes sense for you. All right, and I'm losing my one here. Let me see if I can find it. I'm trying to find that transparency post for you guys, but might not be possible at this time. But it is on YouTube. It is on Instagram. You can find them in these different locations if you guys want to seek them out. The background to your beard makes a really, really big difference. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, and then a couple comments that we have here on it. And Ruben says, I find a lot of people don't know what a transparency trim is when I say it. Yeah. And it is. It is in the name, right? It makes sense in the name. And so they said, is it similar to split ends? Split ends can be a big part of transparency. If you have a hair that's solid, it's going to be thicker and be able to hold light back more. If it starts splitting and getting thin, then you start to get into the problems there. Yep, absolutely. And Mark says, and the hair on your cheeks also has farther to grow because it reaches that length. That's a really good point too. The starting point is just different. Yep, absolutely different. And G Squared says, did I give you that analogy? Yeah, you very well could have. Yeah, no doubt. He said, JK, maybe you did to me. No, it probably was you, man. You guys always are giving me ideas and feedback and fuel. It's kind of constant, which is amazing. Hey, Donald, welcome. So yeah, there's a ton to that. G Square said, Dan, that last transparency trim I did, still holding up great. It makes all the difference, man. Hey, what's up, Dynamo? All the difference in the world. Yep, truly. And Heathen says, yeah, I either go black or I go with like a wool, dark blue, gray. It makes a difference. Yep. Did you create the term transparency? No, I don't think so. I can't imagine. I'm assuming I stole that from somebody or borrowed it. In terms of beard, I doubt it. I don't remember anybody saying it specifically before grabbing that, but it's definitely nothing like revolutionary. It's been, I would imagine, it's a little bit different for head hair. So I don't know. That's a good question, Tyler, but no, I have no claims to the term, but it's a cool thought to think about. All right. It's common enough. Yeah, for sure. And real quick, guys, I do want to slide back here to the Bearded Mack. Their link is pinned in the chat if you guys want to check them out. It is Dan C for 15% off. And if you guys want to support them, 100% free. check out their website, check out their Instagram, drop a kind comment on some of their posts. If they sponsor this, right, they're doing it out of the kindness of the community to give back to the community. But if they open up their Instagram later and they're like, whoa, we have 10 new comments when we normally only have 1 or 2, what the heck is going on? And then they're like, Dan C. Bearded went live today. That helps out. Hey, what's up, Todd? That makes a difference. And so just keep that in mind. If you guys ever want to support and you're like, I can't purchase right now, I'm not in a place to spend money, never, ever feel like you have to. There's a lot of different ways to be able to do that. And I heard that. Yeah, I heard that they have some new scents dropping soon. Literally the best way to stay on top of new information about them is their Instagram, guys. So go check their Instagram out. It is free. And again, don't sleep on their spray colognes and their groomsman kit. And the Icy Mac is my most used scent by them. Okay. We have about 20 minutes left here, guys. Should be about perfect amount of time. And I'm going to run through your questions and get you guys a little bit closer here. And Justin wants to know, does that hippie beard oil actually smell like a hippie? I was looking at that patchouli and incense smell. Patchouli and incense would definitely smell like a hippie. At least for me, right? What anybody considers a hippie is definitely subjective and personal. Patchouli is the epitome of a hippie smell. Incense is a hippie smell for me. So for that one specifically, yes, I would 100% recommend the hippie scent if you're looking for that. All right, Mark has a great question here, you guys. For company owners, what do you consider to be trade secrets? And what do you think is information that can be shared amongst owners? So, Mark, I'm going to break it down legally first. And then from there, I'm going to give you perspective because I have a ton of affiliates. I work with companies that are in every store in America. So I have a really broad scale looking at these things. Trade secrets are called proprietary. It's just proprietary. So things that would be proprietary would be the fragrances that you use. In America, you do not have to disclose your fragrance oils, your essential oils, your absolutes. You can, it's up to you, but you do not have to be able to do that. Tyler says, are you aware of one that has patchouli as a main note? Not off the top of my head because I cannot stand patchouli. If there is, I've mentally blocked it out. So fragrances are proprietary and trade secret. And most company owners are not going to tell you the ratios and the different individual ingredients because you'll see a scent, right? And let's say it says patchouli, incense, and vanilla. There's way more that goes into it than those 3. Those are just the stars of the show. And if you don't have the other supporting scents in there, it's not going to smell good. And so that's a trade secret. Another would be something like a trade secret you don't have to share would be the pH of your washes. You can, many do, but you don't have to. That's a trade secret. And then the last one is, what do you think is information that can be shared amongst owners? That's where it gets tough. You have some owners that are very sharing, that enjoy telling all this information. You have other owners that say, hey, I worked my butt off. No one helped me to find this. I'm not giving this information out. And those things would include suppliers. Who do you go to get your oils, your butters, your fragrances? Other things that could be trade secrets would be, hey, what are you doing for the shipping calculations behind the scenes? Okay. Other things would be, hey, what app on Shopify are you using to bundle? Okay, that's another thing that goes into it. Hey, what machinery are you using? What is your cooling process for your butter? Hey, what is the ratio of oils to butter in your balm? How much wax are you using? All of those could be considered trade secrets and no one has to share, and some do. And in the chat, I don't want to name any right now, but some of you can think of owners that are unbelievably open and share everything to the point where I think they share too much because sometimes people do have to work for it. Sometimes when people are given information too easily, they fall apart too easily as well. And so there is definitely a sliding scale there. It just depends on the owner. Some are very open and some are a little bit more guarded. And I respect both approaches. I don't have a preference either way. And Ken says, how do I let my friend know that his beard looks as dry as a camel's backside? So if I'm going to read this literally, and I am coming through your questions, guys. Muhammad, I got that one started already, my man. And Ken says, he literally says, how do I let him know that his bear looks dry? I would just say, hey, man, that bear looks dry. Are you giving it water? Now, if he's talking about his beard, this is a tough one. I do not give unsolicited advice. That is something I'm very bad at. Even when my friends are like, Dan, if you notice something about me, tell me. I hate it. I don't like making people feel uncomfortable. I don't like making people feel down. So I'm really bad at unsolicited advice. However, on a recent Tuesday live stream, some of you know what I'm talking about, we talked about this. If someone has a booger in their nose, how do you let them know? In this discussion, there was something that was really well said. I would ask them if you can give them advice. So let's say your friend's name is Jeff. Say, hey, Jeff, man, totally fine either way. Would you be open to some advice from me on your beard? And then let them answer. And why that's such a good thing is maybe they're having a bad day. Nobody wants advice when you're in a grumpy mood or you had a bad day. Nobody's going to receive that well. Maybe they're having an awesome day. Maybe there's things that are bothering them about their beard and they want to hear advice about it. So I would just simply ask them, hey man, are you open to me giving you advice on your beard? If they say yes, be like, dude, your beard looks really dry. I highly recommend that you increase your water intake and get a good quality beard oil. That's amazing. If he says, no, man, I'm good, move on, right? That's his choice. Don't be offended by it. You don't have the right to give people advice. Don't be offended by it. Accept it and then move on. And if they're like, I'm having a bad day, man, maybe in a week, come back to it in a week from that. I actually absolutely love that kind of approach and that advice. So that one's big for me. Absolutely. Muhammad said, my beard stopped growing after a point. I am 24, been 5 years. I stopped shaving. It's still a fistful. What should I do? Muhammad, your beard has not stopped growing at a fistful at 25 years old. Number one, you are likely going to keep getting better beard genes until on average 42 years, where you peak your body's ability to be sensitive to DHT, which is the male testosterone that gives us deep voices and gives us facial hair. That's going to continue to get better. More than likely, it's what you're doing that is preventing your beard from growing externally and internally. Your beard growth is almost 100% directly related to your routines, especially internally. Your beard will grow better if you drink more water, if you exercise more efficiently or effectively, if you have a better diet for yourself and your body, and especially if you lower your stress. If any of those nozzles are off, your growth will not be where it should be. And most of us, myself included, are not doing all of those. You might drink enough water, but are you going to the gym 4, 5, 6 days a week? How was your diet? Did you have a sugary drink yesterday, some candy, maybe some processed food? All of those things factor in. And then what about on the outside? What products are you using? How was your grooming habits and your rotation and your routine? All of those things matter. Genuinely focus on the healthy habits and that beard will come along. Of course, take biotin, take collagen. All those things make a difference as well. All right. Good question, my man. But it makes all the difference. And it is. It's not. Yeah. Saad says good health is not a popular beard growth answer, but it's 100% true. It really is. It's not sexy. It's not fun to say. I know it's not like do this and your beard will be better. But it's true. It's true. I'm sporting a 6-inch long silver beard, not quite long enough to plait. And other than patience, any suggestions? Keep going, man. With gray beards, oftentimes you'll lean a little bit more towards the thick viscosity oils in rotation. I still highly recommend working in thinner oils on different days, but start going towards the thicker ones. Make sure you're using conditioner. I recommend every other day, and I think those can help you out. Why my beard can't get to your length. Kind of those same answers just before, my man. Patience, healthy habits, and we do need to acknowledge genetics play a part. There are some people that will never get to this length. It's just not possible for them. That's okay. Give yourself the best chance to reach the best length possible, and that's all you can do. Be happy with it. Does your beard make you hot in the Florida humidity? The answer is no. Yeah, that's a big question. That's Mark's most common question. Going to an indoor water park for 3 days with kids, so we'll constantly be in the pool multiple times a day, 3 days. Any tips? Tanner, yes. Tip number 1, this stream's over in 10 minutes. Look up Dancy Bearded Chlorine and watch the more recent video. I'll give you a full process before, during, and after to make sure your beard is good. Number 2, hope that it's a bromine or a saltwater pool and it's not chlorine. I will say more and more places are going to bromine, which is way better for your skin and hair than chlorine. If you're in bromine, you'll be just fine. If it's 3 days saturated in chlorine, man, chlorine's nasty for your skin and hair. Nasty, and it's nasty for your drinking water. Guys, I'm working on some video content about like drinking water and the effects of certain things on your skin, on your hair internally. It's a really big topic, but I'm really, really passionate about it. All I can say now is a little appetizer. Get a shower head filter if you do not. Yeah, just trust me on that one. It'll make all the difference in the world. All right, to this one. Number one, make sure your beard is saturated with fresh water right before you get in. All of those water parks have the little showers outside. Blast your beard with that fresh water. Run your fingers through it. You should have beard oil in beforehand. Let your beard soak up the fresh water so all the bad water can't get in. Number two, as soon as you can afterwards, on that same shower head, rinse your beard out thoroughly. Number three, wash your beard as quickly as you can. Now, if your family's going to dinner, I don't need you to stop the whole family event and go, hey, I got to go wash my beard before we go to dinner, guys. I'm so sorry. You don't have to do that, right? You'll be fine. Enjoy the family time. Go be dad. And then wash your beard as soon as you can and get a good quality, nourishing beard oil in afterwards. But go watch those videos. How good is a nylon brush? I don't know much about a nylon brush. I can't answer that one. And this is one thing on this stream, guys, that I'll say most times. I'm not afraid to say I don't know. If I tell you guys an answer, I'm highly confident in my research that I've read. I don't conduct a lot of research, but the research that I've read and analyzed, I'm highly confident in my experience. I'm highly confident in my logic. I don't know as much about nylon brushes. So I can't answer that one. If you guys have any experience or education on nylon brushes, please let them know. Don't do a Google search on the side and just regurgitate what Google says, because that's not always good advice. But if you have experience, please let them know. Okay. And Julian says, are you worried about harmful chemicals in beard oils and balms? No, because I am highly, highly, highly knowledgeable about ingredients in beard products. So I am not worried. My job is to make sure you guys know what's good and bad. Do red beards go white faster? Yes. That's it. Yep. And but yeah, don't look for transparency. Absolutely. Dan, recently Beard Octane Beard Fuel, when is the best time to take them? So Beard Octane Beard Fuel is essentially like a men's multivitamin that is really dialed in to be sure you can use it on your beard. So I would recommend whenever you personally would take a men's multi, for me, it's right after dinner. Yep, right after dinner would be when I take that. And I actually do take that one. Are you aware of patchouli? I'm not a big fan of patchouli. Have you seen or used Everyman Jack beard products? I have. Yep, I have a video on them. Number one, don't use their butter. Their butter is atrocious in my opinion. It's not actually a butter. It's more like a bad leave-in conditioner. And I don't like leave-in conditioner, so that says a lot. Number two, the other products are okay. They're good beginner products. Would I rather someone use Everyman Jack in their starting as compared to one that has a bunch of silicones? For sure. Everyman Jack, way better. Their wash is actually pretty good, but it's stripping. Don't use it more than once a week. So they're okay. They're an introductory one. If you're going to start and you need a kit from Walmart, it's a good option. It's better than other ones that are in there. Like, in my opinion, it's better than Maestro's. It's better than Old Spice. It's better than Cremo. It's better than a bunch of other ones that are in stores. Just make sure you don't use the butter. Could you put patchouli oil in beard oil? I would not recommend that. Working with fragrances can be very dangerous, and if you mess up, it's costly. I don't recommend working with fragrances unless you really know what you're doing, because it can get dangerous. Legitimately can get dangerous. So yes. Okay. And in the same vein, but to a lesser degree, do you tell someone if they have food and something in their beard? I would much rather have someone tell me I have food. Yeah, so I think that is different. I think that is a different exception. Telling somebody about something convenience-wise, right, that they dropped food in their beard, I have no problem with anybody telling that or telling someone. But telling someone how they look, I think that's a totally different chapter and a totally, totally different story. Yep. Okay. And I'm coming through here, guys. My sideburns are a jerk in the morning, and I use my heated brush to maintain them, and it works out. But my question is, what else can I do? Not much, man. Keep growing, keep styling, and learning what you can do to style them. You can try balm, but that doesn't usually work. You can try wax. That doesn't usually work. It's genuinely about dialing in your styling routine and making a big difference. Yeah, making a big difference there. Okay. And Mark just installed a water softener. Yep, it's yeah. Oh, I remember the water softener one because it's got a little bit of sodium in there. Yeah, absolutely. Some big differences on that one. Thick oil or thin oil, better before chlorine or the same? Just preference, Scott. I would say if you were like, Dan, you got to answer which one is better. Probably a thick oil because it's going to seal and coat a little bit more, but there's nothing wrong with a thin one either. Either way, you're going to be good with whatever one you think is the best one. And Ruben says, no caffeine with biotin. Yes, that is correct. I have a video on that one, you guys. Essentially, you should not take caffeine an hour before or after biotin. Biotin is vitamin B7, and your body cannot process biotin and caffeine at the same time. They have the same receptors, and if it is going to pick, it picks caffeine every single time. So again, that's why we always got to be careful with reviews from anybody, myself included, right? You should make sure you're doing your due diligence to understand that I know what I'm talking about. Same when you read an Amazon review. Same when you read a one-star review on a biotin supplement online or a beard post that somebody has. I've had people that have been taking biotin for a year with their morning coffee, and they're like, this is a scam. This doesn't work. There's no hair growing. He's doing it for the money, blah, blah, blah. Linda, listen, if you are taking biotin with caffeine, it will not work. I take biotin before my last meal of the day, and I do not have caffeine with that meal. If I do have caffeine, I'm going to wait until the caffeine is 1 hour past, and then I will take the biotin. That makes a really, really big difference. Really big difference. And there's several things like that, you guys. For example, if you're taking vitamin C, are you taking vitamin C with zinc? Because you need zinc to be able to help process that vitamin C. That's such a loaded topic too. Yep, such a loaded topic. You discussed about DHT. Can blocking it slow beard growth? Yes. I'm just asking because I was about to consider, if you block DHT, it will harm your beard. The only thing that makes your beard strong and grow and makes a beard is DHT. That's the male sex testosterone hormone that gives us beards. So yes, if you block DHT, it will harm your beard. Yep, it really will. Ruben says, yep, I did biotin with coffee every day. And it was not Ruben who was saying negative things. So yes. Hey, Eric, welcome, man. And I vaguely remember you saying something about caffeine increasing hair production. Yeah, yep, absolutely. Nope, there is a lot of scientific evidence about caffeine. I don't know enough off the top of my head about internally, even though I am studying that right now. Externally, we do have facts that applying topical caffeine to skin can wake up dormant hair follicles. It can increase hair growth. That one is real. It's not the most buttoned up one of all time, but there is some actual science to that. No doubt about it. All right, guys. I think we cleared all those ones right there, man. That is absolutely amazing. One more time, straight up shout out to the Bearded Mack for making this possible. And man, I am so excited to be back with these Beard Topics Live. If you guys have a topic or a question that you want to be seen, that you want featured on this kind of live stream, once this is over, report back to this video, put a comment in the comment section for your topic or your question, and I will do my very best to address it on a stream in the future. I make these based on you guys, nothing to do with me, and an ultimate prize is oftentimes your questions, your topics get turned into a full video, which help out literally thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. That's pretty cool to think about the impact that you guys could have, and I genuinely mean that. Again, guys, shout out to the Bearded Mack for sponsoring today. Give them a follow on Instagram. Go comment on some of their posts to show them some love. Instagram likes to see that there's activity going on over there. They're going to boost them up a little bit. All right, everybody. I will see you on Sunday for a normal upload video and then Monday for Commands Corner. Other than that, have a great, absolutely amazing weekend. Please stay bearded and stay